both are. 大家你唔會見到片，但可能就係我哋有食分係咁你而家2年係啊，咁即時你考完 DSE 係啱啱考完，而家就而家係啦。
Thank you.
Let's have Ruby and Tabitha up here with us for some questions. Have a seat. So we're going to have a chat about the film, and afterward we open the floor for questions from the press. I'm going to ask the questions in English as well as Chinese. But at the same time, we also want to encourage Tabitha to answer the questions in English, because Ruby, as her mentor, really want her to harness her English skills, and I have full confidence in you that you can do it. So let's give her some encouragement, a round of applause. So to open the questions, as a documentary filmmaker, selecting a topic to make a film is the first most important step. How did you encounter the story of My Voice, My Life? 所以 以一個紀錄片導演嚟講，選材咧其實係第一個最重要嘅環節嚟嘅。咁我想問楊導演，點樣你係點樣遇到爭氣呢個故事嘅咧？
I was went back to Hong Kong in 2013, and the Alpha Stage Creation Foundation asked me to possibly direct the documentary that document the process of these 4 schools making a musical. So at the beginning I had reservation because I just don't want to do a documentary just on the process without story. So I went to my husband to see the rehearsal, the very first rehearsal they did. And I walked into the room and I heard really very sort of singing with a lot of conviction of the students, and I find out later that they are visually impaired students. There were 5 of them, and also I learned about one of the students. His name is Lin Zilong, and he lost his sight only a year ago. So I knew that there would be a very good story, documenting his challenge to do this musical. So and then also there was Abo, kind of troubled kids, and I talked to the principal, and the principal told me a bit background about him. I said, well, this is very interesting, young man, and if the musical can kind of change him a bit, that'd be great. So then after thinking about for a week, and I said yes to directing the documentary, and which took about 6 months. And following the whole process, we were at the school every day for 2 months, and then later on the performance, and then later on also filming more in the school and as well as with the spending time with the family. 講多次係咁喺2013年嘅時候就我喺嗰時仲喺北京住嘅，咁我就翻到香港，咁有個 foundation 叫做 Alpha Stage Creation Foundation， 就希望我拍一個同佢哋拍一個紀錄片，因為佢哋支持咗一個musical 係聯校嘅 musical， 係有4間學校嘅，其中一間學校係深江盲人學校。咁當時我就唔係幾想淨係拍一個所謂記錄性嘅紀錄片，就冇故仔。咁我就第一次去聽佢哋嘅rehearsal 嘅排練，咁就入到一間房度就聽到一啲好就係好有就係感人嘅歌聲。咁原來就係一個5個當係5個失明學生去到第一次彩排佢哋排嗰啲歌舞劇，但係其實係 Broadway 嘅 music 嚟嘅。咁佢哋 adapt 咗去到中文。咁其中一位就係叫連子樂，佢就啱啱失明咗1年嘅。咁我見到呢個男仔非常之有一種好特別嘅，咁我就了解多咗佢嘅背景。咁另外一位咧就係叫做阿博，咁佢就又係一個比較有少少問題嘅青年啦。咁我同個校長傾咗好耐偈，咁佢嘅校長就即係覺得佢呢個年輕人就如果能夠參與咗音樂劇，可能會改變咗佢。咁我覺得呢兩男仔真係好有就係有可能有啲參與咗呢個音樂劇會有改變。咁我就應承考慮咗1個星期，咁之後應承同佢拍呢個紀錄片。咁就成個過程拍咗成6個月啦。咁就每日都喺度中學度睇住，即係無論咩事都喺度記錄佢哋。咁同埋去佢哋嘅學校啊，同埋佢哋家人屋企啊。咁就其實頭先都講咗有我哋拍咗成400個小時嘅素材嘅。
So now that we know a little bit more about how Director Yang can tell the story, I want to know how Tabitha feels when Ruby first comes to the rehearsal and started bringing the camera and started filming you guys. how did it feel to be filmed and eventually see yourself on the big screen along with your other friends that were in the musical? 你今次係第一次喺一個紀錄片，又係喺電影院公映，喺大屏幕嗰度見到自己，你感受係如何咧？即係楊導演第一次嚟拍你哋嘅時候，呢個過程係可以同我哋分享下你嘅感受。
When Ruby filmed, when we are rehearsing, and actually, I have no feelings because I didn't care about where she's walking. We focus on our rehearsal. But when I see it screening in a movie cinema, it's really funny because I saw myself younger.
咁可以咁少有咩？你講咗 band tree 嗰啲，咁有冇講你嘅感受？你睇到自己喊喎。
Okay. In the movie, I cry because I really care about my school banding. When I didn't ask my friends to watch, but they will watch themselves, and they ask, "Oh, you don't like your banding, your school?" And after the movie came out, and I didn't care because I think when I do my best, it's not bad for me anymore.
廣東話係我唔該你有 Ruby 嚟嘅時候，
係 Ruby 嚟嘅即係拍紀錄片嗰陣咧，咁 Ruby 喺度嗰陣，其實我哋就冇乜理佢嘅，所以真係冇乜感受啊。可能係我一個，我唔知其他咁咁跟住我唔記得咗。
公映嘅時候，
係公映嘅時候，我見到自己喊啦，咁同埋我後生咗啦，咁我係即係係啊，我係有少少即係覺得有啲搞笑嘅咁樣。咁點解會喊咧？因為我好介意自己個 banding 我喊嗰陣咁樣。咁但係完咗呢個 musical 之後，就覺得只要做好自己就得啦咁樣，即係 not bother me anymore 咁。
Thank you, Tarifa. One of the things that struck me, and I believe for people who watched the film, struck them as well, is that your incredible ability to bond with the students. Because there are so many students in the film, and you're able to get them to talk on screen about their feelings, as well as their feelings toward their banding, their relation with their family. How did you manage to do that? Was there any difficulty in bonding with like certain students? 所以大家睇個片或者聽日去睇片嘅時候，都會發現喺個片裏邊咧有好多學生傾到佢哋內心嘅感受，佢哋對學校制度嘅感受啊，同埋佢哋對家人嘅一啲感受。咁我就想問楊導演，佢哋點樣能夠去同每個學生都打開佢哋嘅心胸，去同佢哋講到佢哋真實嘅感受？其中有冇咩困難咧
？It was tough at the beginning because they don't, how young people are. They all feel so cool. They don't want to talk to anyone like a few years older than them. So, but what I started was, but in the beginning, I suggest to the foundation that they should use some students from the school to film, because first thing you will train a few students who are interested in filming and then film their own peer. That way that you train them, and plus they can have sort of their own visuals about their own peers. So that was done right at the beginning. So in that way the students were so used to having camera around them, so by the time I show up it doesn't matter anymore. That's one thing. And then second thing was that I started with the principals. Because for me to just parachute in, that'd be very hard. And the principal, they have been with them, spent time with them for many, like at least from Form 1 to Form 4, Form 5. So I got a lot of background, talked to them, and then I got a sense of their background and sort of the challenges. Then I will have to also make friends from the trainer, Nick Hall, because he's the one who stopped me filming. Actually, not the student, but the main he's the musical director. Because he said I would be in his way, my camera would be in his way, and also when he's very stern, stern. Whenever he would scold the student, also of course it's tough love, and then at the end they would be friends again, or sending WhatsApp to each other. But then when he made the student cry a couple times, but then my camera would be there, so he wasn't happy. But I learned to be very distant from that. So that I respected also their privacy, and then gradually I get to know. Actually, Gila is actually we're closest. Actually, my husband was actually counseling and friends with him. And we build a bond with them and the family as well. And I think Abog is very close to the principal. So, and also my co-producer, Ada Ho, she works with him quite a bit. So we were able to get close to the student very early on. And the rest of the student will gradually get to know them. Like Tab is the one who I have a hard time nailing her down. I'm trying to get her to interview. Said, no, I'm too busy. So I always get away from the camera. That's why the camera didn't bother her. So I mean, it's tough because why would they open up to some stranger? I can understand it. So it takes a lot of time. But so because the documentary was made such a long time, and we was there every day. So we sort of, I felt like I was going to high school again. I felt it. So it was a bond with the time. So that's how we got close. Don't mind. Okay. 咁喺個過程之中係難嘅。咁初我就俾支相機俾啲中學生，我就將俾個 foundation，就俾佢自己拍翻自己嘅同輩，咁可以 train 到佢哋有一個即係攝影嘅技巧。咁因為咁樣嘅話，因為學校佢哋都有好多嘅拍攝團隊，咁佢哋有機會可以練習佢哋嘅技能咁樣。咁當佢哋一開始第一日排練嗰時已經有相機喺面前咧，佢哋已經對相機係好怕嘅，所以我擺攤我出現嘅時候，佢已經相機咁5個相機佢都即係已經慣咗。咁喺當初嘅時候，我就同校長有4個校長都同我哋見咗好多，傾我偈，咁我了解學生嘅背景。咁我就其中2個主要嘅人物阿博同埋阿子樂咧，就係子樂我就係 spend 好多時間，因為佢即係好vulnerable好脆弱嘅時候，因為佢阿成咗我同埋我屋企嘅關係有啲僵持，因為佢媽媽唔能夠接受佢生命，咁就嗰個時間係 spend 好多時間，因為我嘅事實而就係其實個成個 musical 有成30幕前50幕後，其實要好多先生幫手，咁大家都一定幫手佢哋，同佢哋譬如放學啊，帶佢搭車啊咁樣，好多就一齊即係又做 counselor 又做拍攝咁，幾個孭咗2個，即係打2個舞咁樣。咁就慢慢咁開始就其他嘅學生慢慢都熟咗，咁佢哋都 OK 嘅，都最尾嘅時候，到最後表演嘅時，佢哋已經真係即係哇嗰個過程佢哋好辛苦，然後佢哋自己都覺得自己得到一啲嘢，咁佢哋係好願意接受你訪問。咁阿 Tab 就係難啲嘅，佢初佢都係避免個鏡頭，咁淨係同佢訪問，佢都走咗。咁但係我覺得到最後佢都初嗰時佢唔係睇出戲嘅，我記得請佢都唔係，咁後來佢嘅同學咧就話出戲 OK 啊，咁佢先嚟睇嘅，我哋唔記得咗啦，我記得爆咗你呢個，咁就係咁樣。
Thank you. So over to Tabitha. I know that you graduated from high school this year, and what are your plans? Have the film and the musical change what you want to do in your life or what you want to do in the future? 咁我哋就知道 Tabitha 今年已經係高中畢業啦。咁我就想問下你未來有咩計劃啊？參加呢個音樂劇同埋參加嘅電影嘅拍攝有冇改變你係對未來嘅一啲計劃咧？
First of all, I joined this musical because I like drama and acting. But after Ruby filmed a documentary with us, and I realized that I really want to, my future career will be filmmaking. Because since I was small, I watched Disney film grow up, and I realized that I really like animation, and I hope my future career can be an animation maker and get into Disney or Pixar. But it's a high goal. 中文我係參加呢個 musical 咧，就因為我本身自己中意玩戲劇啦，咁所以我就參加咗。咁因為我中意做一個演員啦，咁但係自從阿 Ruby 咧佢即係錄住我哋做呢個 documentary 之後，我就發現咦原來我可能係想喺電影方面發展過，可能做一個演員喎咁樣，咁所以同埋我係即係睇迪士尼卡通片同電影大㗎啦，咁所以我就發現我可能會好想可以入到呢個動畫嘅行業係啊咁樣。
I'm sure that you have a great future in filmmaking. Since you already have a great mentor right here, you can ask Ruby all your questions as you start learning how to make films. So let's open the floor for questions. Shall we take some questions from media? Anyone?
我問啦 Can I ask in Chinese? I think you got a film about the Sichuan, the kids. 永州的孩子 is your right? So and one organization using your film for fundraising in Toronto. So you are a documentary director. Is it that a documentary film director always has a mission to change the world, change the society, or whatsoever?
Well, I think a lot of documentary filmmaker has that lofty goal about at least calling for action in their film. And I think making a documentary is not easy, and also it takes a lot of conviction and passion to stay in the field because it's not an easy field to make it a career. And so I think that in some way a lot of filmmakers, like a documentary filmmaker, may come from maybe journalist background or from artists or whatever, but they usually want to tell something important in their film. And sometimes when the theme is very important, they always make some changes or at least have people pay attention to subject matter that hasn't been really talked about. So yes, but for my own, I want to do films that have advocacy. I'm making films with a lot with actually not as big as changing the world, but I want to shine lights into subject that people usually don't have a chance to see. For example, in the Blood Angel district, it's about the stigma, the discrimination that the young people face in their community that shouldn't be happening. And once you have knowledge, you can attach a human face to HIV/AIDS. That should be gone. I mean, of course, using media is a way to disseminate that knowledge. 中文唔使啦。
係啊，好到下一條問題咧。
嗱，其實今次呢個紀錄片你都講係已經拍咗40個 hours 嘅，40 400個 hours 嘅影片，咁點樣喺從中篩選90分鐘作為呢一個嘅電影
？In English, maybe I'll put it in English. We shot about 400 hours. It's a lot of work because we have students that shoot non-stop because they want to practice their skill, and they don't necessarily shoot with a focus or storytelling in their mind, but in a way. But sometimes they would have a little snippets of stuff that is very good out of the 20 hours, but that's the way, it's okay. So we have a very good team. Actually, Candy, our associate producer, is here with us. She's accompanying Tabitha here. And so we spent about 3 months organizing the footage first by character, by place, by rehearsal, and by performance. And so that's first. And then I kind of knew this, what's the main characters, like their age, and so we, it's a lot of organization. And then from that, we do a chronological selects, and then from that on, I just, tell whatever works. We have many screenings. We have about 10 test screening because that really helps, because when you see it on big screen, you have a step behind and watching the film as an audience. That helps because we have associate editors and additional editing, but at the end I have to really edit it because I know the story. I know how to tell the story, so it's tough. And it took only 3 months to finish the editing, which is quite fast for a feature length with that size of material. Yeah.
Can you have some technical information about the film in terms of what format you shot, what's the budget, or how long does it take, what's the size of the crew, more in terms of the making of the...
We have actually a big crew, but mostly student and young filmmaker, and the whole point is to engage a lot of young people interested in documentary making, and in the process also mentoring them. But that's very tough because that takes a lot of hand-holding. And Candy probably can tell you that, someday we'll come in and say, oh wow, because they don't have the experience, so it took a long time. We have 20-something cameras, and we have, because at the beginning we didn't have that much money, so we didn't have sound man. So we paid our price in the post-production process. The sound were not good. And then when we have received funding from the Heisen Foundation, then we start getting sound men and professional cameramen. And then because sometimes we have 3 cameras, 5 cameras shooting the rehearsal, we have to cover different angles. So we cannot have the same camera, so that we have different sets of camera, different format. It was a nightmare, but we managed. So the associate editor, she spent 16 months working on the film. I mean, basically from the beginning, start and doing, all these. Also, we have different versions from the U.S. version. Hong Kong theatrical version, we have the Chinese and English subtitle. So there's just so much things, so much details we have to attend to. And the budget was about 2 million in Hong Kong, but just the production. But then we have also a lot of in-kind from the foundation. We have, for example, the promotion. We don't have to spend some money buying ads, but the big star like Andy Lau, and he asked his friends to help the promotion of the film. We don't have to pay them at all. And the airtime was also, TVB gave us some airtime. So there was a huge in-kind related to help to promote the film.
Yeah, so that wraps up our questioning sessions, but we are going into one-on-one interview with director and
Thank you.